Hello, hello. Hey, how are you this evening? Here we are. It's another wonderful evening. It's Friday night, so it's financial night. Ask a question on financial night. So I was outside. It's so cold, and I just had to put this on because it made me feel a little bit warmer. I was freezing. I went outside. It's so very windy. I had to go out, and then I went to pick up some stuff from the garage, and I was so cold. So I decided, oh, I need something warm. All I could think about is a little short leather jacket, but I'm still cold because I had the windows open all day. So how are you guys doing this afternoon, this evening? It is cold, yeah. I think it's like 6 degrees down here, and we're by the lake, so that's even worse. So how are you doing this evening? Tonight, I decided we're going to do on the Tessa-Marie show that thing that we call the 5 pillars of prosperity. We're going to talk about them. We're going to bring them up because for May we have special Fridays, and for May we are doing gratitude every morning. But on Friday night we're going to do the money show. Always money. So all the questions you can come up with, all the ideas you have, what you have tried, what is working for you, what is not working for you. So these are the things you're going to do this time. So I just wanted everybody to know, hi Ryan, what we are doing tonight. So Ryan, money show, it's right up your alley. So if you have, so who is that, Ryan? Yeah, glasses would be helpful. Ryan, it's your night. So it's right up your alley. So one of the things you can do, Ryan, is come up and give me some tips on what you're doing if you're customers. So tonight is the 5 pillars of prosperity, and you were the impetus for them. So I hope you can enjoy that. So as I was saying, I am so cold. I had the windows open, went in the garage to put the things away, and I'm still freezing. My hands are freezing. So I put a regular jacket on, and it wasn't. So I have to put a little, not too long, leather jacket on. So I'm feeling kind of comfortable now. So tonight, let's see what we can do. So welcome to the Tessa-Marie show, everybody. And it's Friday night. I'm glad everybody's there. Hello, Susie. It's the 5 pillars of prosperity. One is not there without the other. It's like the fingers on your hands. So let's get the show on the road. And I need some participation tonight. Like the man used to say for the exercise program, like Donato reminded me that participation. Let's get involved in the show this evening. It's a hot night in the show, not outside. The wind is terrible. So here we go. And let's look at the pillars. Now the pillars of prosperity, I created them because of Ryan. Poor Ryan. I started them because of you. I'm going to have to drink some water. And one of the things that caused me to do this was because we don't realize that without those 5 pillars, we cannot function as we would like to function. Those 5 pillars are what that keep us going. And one of them is weak, all the others are going down one by one. That's how it is. It's like the fingers of your hand. If you hold something with your finger and it works, great. But when you lose one of those fingers, nothing works. So that is one of the things we all have to remember as we go through life, is that your 5 pillars are important. And they are this way in no order of importance. Your emotional prosperity is your emotional health. Your mental prosperity is your mental health. Your physical prosperity is your physical health. Your spiritual prosperity, no explanation required. Your financial prosperity, no description required. So there are 2 that everybody understands well. It's funny, you would think people understand physical health well, but no. Everybody understands spiritual health. They'll tell you, I go to church and I pray. And that's it. Then you'll talk about financial health, but I work and I pay my bills. That's it. And then when you come to talk about physical health, well, I'm not saying I do what I have to do. So they get that. Not as much as they get financial and spiritual. The people just don't get it. But what we don't get are the two that really are there. They're there every day. Mental health and emotional health. And they are not the same. I think I have said that like 5 million times. They're not the same. Your mental health and your emotional health are two separate components of your prosperity. Because one is the way you process information, and the other is how you use the information or you recall the information you learned before. So if you guys know, anybody here who knows which is which, tell me. So I'm going to say number one, just put, if you think one is emotional health, and if you think two is mental health, I will say them. And so I'm going to tell you which one is which. So you choose. The first one I'm going to talk about, the information you receive, you have to get it clear, is how you react to the information you receive. That one affects one of them. Which one is it? So let me know if it is mental or emotional, or if it's emotional or mental. So listen carefully. I have to do this because so many people are not getting it. So please, those of you, put your answer in the comments. Let me see. So emotional health and mental health. One of them is the way you process the information you receive. So which one is that? The other one is how you recall and use the information you got, also you received. So which is which? So let me see which ones you're putting in the right column. So Susie answered. Anybody else? Come on, guys. Help Susie. Don't leave her wanting. So remember, I'm going to say it again. The way you process the information you receive and how you recall it. That's one. And the other one is how you react to the information also. So it's two separate things. So which is which? So number one, if I had to tell you, nobody else is putting it in, just Susie is brave enough. Emotional health is 2 and mental health is 1. That's what Susie said. So anybody jumping in with Susie, Chicken, Donato, where are you? You always have something to say. Come on, Donato, did you go back to sleep? What about you, Yoko? Come on, guys, give Susie some help here. So Susie, you're the brave one. So number one, the mental health is number 1 because you process the information that you got. How you process it is your mental capabilities. Like you study and you can recall that information. Your ability to recall the information. So that's why when you go to school, the degree that you receive tells your employer, your prospective employer, you have the ability to learn and you can finish a task in a given time. That's your mental capabilities. So mentally, you can process and recall information. So that's your mental health. So somebody that cannot do that is deficient in mental capabilities, okay? That person could have a brain injury. That person could have be born with something that is preventing them a challenge. That person could just have not learned properly in school. The IQ is maybe not as developed. So the mental way to respond, to bring it up, and that now can also affect you if you have Alzheimer's or you have another type of mental disease. Any cognitive disease affects your mental ability. So any of the diseases that you have, like there's several types of dementia. There's just some people that are absent-minded or they don't recall anything. So they're mental. So if you took them to a job site, they would not remember what this is, a hammer or this, or they wouldn't remember what you told them to do this morning. So if you cannot do that, you cannot keep a job. You cannot keep a job, you have no money. You cannot, no, you have no money, you can't pay your bills, it affects you for the other one. So now your emotional health is how you react. So for example, road rage is emotional. Somebody send you something and you go, rah, 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 rah. Right away, you just blow up. So that is emotional. Your emotional is how you react to the information you just received. Don't forget that. How you behave in a stressful situation. It has nothing to do with your mental capabilities. So you got it? Emotional health is how your reaction to what is in front of you. What you saw, what you heard, what you digested. Your mental capabilities is how you perform. Can you perform? Can you recall the information I told you to do this morning? When I talked to you and I asked you to do this, you're doing a transaction. Can you recall the procedure to get there? That's your mental capabilities. Are you sick and your mind is not working? You have dementia of some type. There are various levels of dementia. All cognitive. All pulls you back from your mental capabilities. So these are the two hardest ones to define. So, and they affect you. Yet right now, the emotional one is really, really bad because it produces anxiety in most people. So the emotional prosperity is having a fight right now. People are afraid to go out. They're afraid because of what they hear on the news. They're not taking a chance. They're stepping back. They see, like the lady that called me yesterday and her husband. And so that's the emotional anxiety. So that is, can you imagine if they had to ever go out to work, they were retired and they were behaving like this. So you know how bad it is. So if this is one person I know, a couple that I know, and I know a couples like that or people like that. So think of the hundreds and thousands and perhaps millions of people out there that this is affecting. We know that. We see it with friends and sometimes family. So that is the emotional thing that is weak right now. That causes you to make decisions that you would normally make without that stress. So they could take a chance and somebody can call them on the phone and tell them you can buy this, I can make you rich, I can get this for you, and they do that. This is not make-up stuff. When your anxiety or emotional health is weak, you can fall for anything. People are still getting it to call in and say, this is your bank and because of COVID, we need your information. And there are people that are so frightened of this thing. They're giving these thieves their information. And we have a big amount of people that don't really always understand that the banks don't ask you for personal information on the phone. They don't ask you for that on the phone. They have all your personal information. But people are still giving it out and they're getting scammed, hands over fist. So emotional, and then that wrecks them. They realize the money is gone from their account. They can't pay their bills. So emotionally, they're getting there. Mentally is fine, but they were under so much stress because they hear the word COVID that they just did whatever the person told them to do, because if you don't do it, you cannot get your vaccine, which is sad. But that's what people are doing, guys. So that's why I brought up the pillars tonight. So people understand where it's coming from. So when somebody tells you that they're really feeling it because of COVID, trust me, they're feeling it. They're frightened. And maybe they don't have many people to talk to. So this is where it becomes important that if you know somebody under those circumstances, that you should reach out to them. Like the song says, reach out and touch someone. This is the time to pick up the phone and say how you're doing, what's going on with you, what can I do for you, what it is that caused you to be in this situation, that you're feeling this way. These are the kind of questions we can ask each other, and that helps. So let us go back to mental. Mental capabilities is when the emotion can affect it too. That's why sometimes the people put them together. But they can be two separate things. So if you lose your job because of your mental situation, It could be that you have family business that is affecting you. For example, you might be under stress at home and you're going to work and you're not functioning as you're supposed to function. You're not functioning at the optimum. So what happens when you don't function at that? You get fired, or you get let go, or you get decreased, or you get whatever. So there's a reason now for that to affect you emotionally, because now you don't have ways of earning. You might be able, if they fire you with cause, you might not get unemployment, right? And that causes other situations. Now you sit at home, you're worried, you're in anxiety, your emotions are whacked. Somebody says one word to you, it means 5,000 words, you blow up, and it just has a ripple effect. So the emotion is gone, the mental, you lost your job right now, so emotionally, and then there's no money coming in, and you get yourself in a physical altercation for no reason at all. So when you get that type of situation going on, the other three pillars are now shaking because they have to carry the weight. So if one of them is sick, the other four has to function, and they can't. None of them can function independently at 100%. You need to make them work together. So that's why you need to keep them healthy. How you do that? So we're talking about emotional, more so, and mental. The other three I can deal unless you guys ask questions. So Susie had the answers, right? So what you have to look at, the emotional situation that you're facing can be managed. It can. There's help outside. If it comes to the point where professional help is required, that can be attained. But some things you can do. People don't realize, or some of us, I should say, don't realize that prayer and meditation, praying, just praying. And that doesn't mean you have to kneel down and you have to cover yourself with sackcloth and ashes. That is not what I'm talking. You don't have to go into a deep thing of starvation and 40 days in the desert. It was done already. So what you can do is spend some time in prayer. And it doesn't mean you have to sit with your hands in your lap like the world has fallen, even if it is falling. And if you notice it hasn't really fallen on your head and there is space around you, then it's not as bad as it could be. So when you seek prayer, you step out and you stand up. If you believe in a God, or the universe, or whatever, the Christian God, the Buddha, whatever God, the Muslim, whatever God you believe in, Omnipotence, any one of them, you don't have to sit in one place to pray. You can stand up and walk. Because when you need prayer, and you need to feel the prayer, and you need to put emotion in your prayer, because that is when it is understood. You walk. We put so much emotion in anger. And then when we go to pray, we want to be holier than thou. That is rubbish. Our true self is the one that comes out with emotion and passion. Passion in prayer. And talk to your God. Prayer is not repeating what is in the Bible over and over and over again. You must remember the Bible was written by men inspired by the Holy Spirit. Go inspire yourself. Go and make your own prayer. Walk the walk and make your own prayer. Get out there. You have a mask on anyway. Nobody knows what you're saying. And if you're not comfortable in the house, go outside. Get out there. Put a coat on or whatever and pray. Because you have to get your emotions in check. They will wreck you. If prayer and stamping and demanding of God, your creator, what it is you must do, you don't understand parables, so ask him not to send you a parable. You don't understand a story without a practical beginning and end, ask him not to send this to you. Speak to me in the language I speak. Let me feel you. Get your emotions back on track. Meditate. Spend time in silence. When you cannot do that, then close yourself in the bathroom, turn on the shower and cry like there is no tomorrow. Let it go. Wherever it is and whatever you have to do to get your emotions in check, you need to do it. If your emotional prosperity is weak, just think about it. The first time somebody says something to you, you're going to blow up. Now that person too might be suffering from emotional weakness and they have a gun. They wouldn't understand tongue or nothing. They're going to just let it go. So you have to always protect yourself by trying to stay on track. It is never lost. Everything can be fixed. There's an answer for it. It doesn't mean the answer is going to stare you in the face, but it's only in seeking will you find. If you don't seek, you will not find. If you don't ask, it won't be given to you. You cannot sit there and say, God will bring it to me. No, you have to go and tell him what you truly want because he gave you free will. And then you have to look. Sometimes a little, when you're praying and you're in deep prayer and you're asking for an answer for your emotional or your sanity, whatever it is, and an idea comes, take the idea up. Take the idea up. That idea might take you halfway, and when you get there, there will be another idea to take you the rest of the way. But don't say, well, this is not enough. You ask. So believe you're going to receive it. And seek. Get up and go do what that idea says to do. Phone that person. Get outside of the house. Go stand on the corner of the street. I don't care what your idea tells you to do, but do something. Sitting and waiting for God to come down and give you a key to fix your emotional health isn't going to happen. There is always some way to get cured. So this is what we are suffering with right now. Prayer, not sitting down and praying. Not sitting. When it is that bad, you need to fire up yourself. You need to get a coals going underneath you and burn up yourself so you can move. You can get out. Walking is one of the best ways to get your act back together. Walking. Staying indoors for 24 hours a day is not good for anybody. So you get out and you go for a walk so you can handle that. You breathe it. Whatever that air is, it's better than the air in the house we sit in. So go outside and get into that environment. Meditate. If you find a bench somewhere, sit there. Nobody's going to come next to you anyway because they're afraid of getting COVID. So just sit there. Even if it's for 5 minutes, and all say, I need some guidance. I need some help. My emotional health is weak. My emotional prosperity is sinking. And I know if I don't take care of it, the other 4 will go. You will respond to an instruction by a customer, a client, a friend, an employer in the wrong way. And they might tell you no job today, no money tomorrow. Right? So when emotion is back, spiritual also gets weak. Because sometimes we blame our spiritual life. We say, the God I pray for has ignored me. He stepped away from me. He doesn't care about me. So we don't do any more prayer. We call a friend to complain. And the friend only adds fuel to the fire. You know that already. They'll just pour oil on that fire that is already simmering and make it worse. Well, if I were you, I would do this, and if I were you, I would do that. You don't need that right now. So when your emotional prosperity is weak, counsel with self is usually better, unless it's a neutral person that will hear you out, a professional. But if you're going to tell a friend who themselves have emotional problems, they take off at 90 miles an hour at the drop of a hat, that's not going to help you. So this is why the 5 pillars, I keep stressing them. They have to be balanced. So tonight I wanted you to understand this emotional prosperity. I wanted you to understand it. It's how you react to what is happening to you. How you react to what you receive. How you react to what you're reading. How you react to what you hear on the news. How you react when you look at your bank account. How you react when you get a text or an email from somebody. All of that. Sometimes you have to wait until cooler heads prevail. You sit and you just simmer it down. You digest it. Somebody answers you in a rough way. You pull back. You step back and you relax yourself. And then you can go back and deal with it. Not even allowing them to find out that how they spoke to you was not appropriate. because they themselves might have been going through something. And you're going to say, Tessa-Marie, you're asking me to make allowances for all of those people. Yes, I am. Because at the end of the day, it's your emotional health you're going to destroy. Very early in my marriage, I used to, I always have a story, right? I would have a discussion with my husband, something he didn't do or something I wanted him to do, whatever the case was. And, I would be complaining and quarreling and rah, 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 the usual thing. And then one day, a switch went on in my head. And I realized, wait a minute. If somebody walked into this house, they would think I'm the only crazy person here. They would call the cops and have me taken away. This man is having his coffee, reading a book, watching TV, and the music is on a low. He's not too high. He's not going to add fuel to the fire. And I realized, and I knew one thing for sure, he wasn't deaf. So I said, okay. So I am there bringing my blood pressure up to a level that is not sustainable by a normal human being. Anytime I can collapse, and there is this human being I'm angry at, sitting there like he just stepped out of Vogue magazine, cool as a cucumber. And I'm thinking, really? So I stopped. So when I had a discussion, I would just say it once. And then I would walk away. I would leave it alone. And he would come to me, Tess, what do you really want me to do? So I realized that was a winning way to deal with him. So we have to choose how the emotions we're expending is attacking ourselves. We have to decide who is hurting here, who is getting disturbed here, whose pressure is going up, who has high blood pressure, who has high cholesterol, who got diabetes from stress. Which one of the two of you? I know a couple, he looks fine, but she's a worrywart. And she's just realized she shouldn't be like that. So now she's pulling back, but she's on 3 medication. He's not taking one. Nobody in her family is on medication but her. But she had this stick in every sauce, this spoon in everybody's life was her affair in that family. And I brought it to her attention. I said, you haven't seen they all fine. The only person whose one foot is on the banana peel and the other one in the grave is you. So you need to pull back and let people live their lives. So your emotions need to be contained in order. So next week, when I come back, I will talk a little bit about the mental health, but you guys got it. It's just because I wanted emotion to be the first because of what we're going through in the entire world. And that's why I'm saying check the emotions in. Find out which one it is. It's not mental health, it's emotional health. That is what they just use a whole blanket, but they're two distinct things. And the mental capacity is different. So remember that. So next week, if you have any questions or if you want anything more, just tell me. So, hi Ali. Oh, hi Ali. I didn't see Ali. Ali, how are you doing? Ali and Donato is always hello, Ali. Yeah, thank the government for aluminum. I don't even know what that conversation. Repeat it, please. Sleep. Not me. I'm sure you don't have anything wrong with you. Hi, Patrick. Important to educate ourselves. It's true. It's true. We need to understand. Hi, Tiggy. I hope everybody understood everything about that. Hi. Hello, Belinda. Long time no see you. Hi, Tiggy. So you had such an awesome husband. He learned. I had to create the man. I had to decide to change so he could be an awesome husband. Thank you, Yoko, for your compliment for the man. I had to change myself. I had to not change myself. I had to learn how to figure him out. I had to learn wisdom very early. I realized screaming and shouting was not the answer to this man. He was too quiet for that. That was for me. So I stopped doing that and I just used to state my case and I would go. And then I would still talk to him, but he knew I was upset about this thing. I would still do everything I normally did. I never withheld 17 or anything like that. But the one thing for sure that he turned, and he did, was that he would come back to me and say, so what do you want me to do? Please tell me I'll do anything. So that was how it went. And then it got better, and we got to get understand each other. But that is, if you must remember too, when I first got married, I had never slept in a bed with somebody else. So the first for a couple of weeks, I would feel this person in my bed and I would just kick him off. And then it wasn't because it was a person, it was just something was in my way. So I had to learn to share a bed. So that was another story for another night. So, yes, so that was the bold thing about me. So anyway, so you guys have any questions or any statements you crack me? Oh, hello, you finally showed up. I haven't seen you for years. How is the garden growing? Now that you have a hot house, you don't live it. 80 degrees every day in there. Okay. So guys, I hope you had a wonderful evening on the emotional pillar of prosperity, and to understand that a lot of people are suffering with that emotional pillar, and to know that emotional health and mental health are two separate entities. Emotional health is how you react to the information you just heard, received, or saw, or was given to you, or you read. And mental health is the ability to recall information for use. So this is what you must remember. So I'm here. If you guys have anything to say it now, so we can chat a little bit longer. Where is that person that always comes in the morning and wants to interrupt the morning blessing? This is her chance to come. She's not here tonight. So anybody who has any questions, I will hang around with you, because every time I go, somebody says to me, oh, I wanted to ask you a question, but you didn't ask the question. So this is your chance. I will check again my question box. See? No questions. So that's fine. If you have something you want to say, you can say it. But Susie got it right. So don't forget what emotional and mental is. And next week, I will touch on mental a little bit, but I think we will go into financial, because those two affect financial really quickly, and what you can do about it. And if you know of anybody, guys, because my friend who's still at the bank gave me the information that they are now calling people and telling them, if you want to get your vaccine, you have to give us your bank account number and all of that, and taking monies from people's bank account. So you have to be careful. If you know of anybody older, make sure you tell them they don't need to pay for their vaccine. And that the banks never phone you at home and ask you for your social security number, your bank account number, your address. They have all that information. So the people that are phoning you are not your banks. And if they ask them for their credit card number, their PIN number, those things, tell them. Talk to the older people you know, people who don't speak English. New immigrants, that's where they know where to go, because they don't, when they hear, and some new immigrants coming from countries of communism, when they hear government, they just open up their whole house for them. And it's not the government doing that. And it's not the banks doing that. So be careful, and and if you know, help somebody. There's people who need your help out there. So sending you light and joy on this wonderful evening. No questions tonight, so I'll have the rest of the evening to relax. Tomorrow is the 1st of the month. And we are doing a whole month of gratitude, a whole month. I'm going to do every day will be a different tip on gratitude. I will do it at 8 o'clock. It will not be as long, maybe 10, 15 minutes, but it will be all on gratitude and how to be grateful. So tomorrow we will talk about the gratitude, being grateful, and what it does for you. That is for the whole month, 31 days of gratitude. Because gratitude is one of the things that really, really makes you wonderful. Gratitude makes people even like you, just in case you want to know. So tomorrow will be a whole day of gratitude in whole morning, 15 minutes of the 8 o'clock show is going to morning blessing is on gratitude. It will go on like that every morning, but every morning it will be with a caveat and the purpose of the gratitude of the day. And it's just to help you to realize gratitude is as long as you're awake, our thing. And then of course we have the self-care show on Sunday. And just in case you want to know, I was asked to do a garden show because I'm so much into the gardening thing. So I haven't decided. I have to talk to my advisor to find out how many days a week I should do that. It will be in the middle of the day, sometimes at 12 or maybe at 1 p.m., but it will be in the middle of the day. So I will do something on gardening and spend time in the garden so that you guys can see what my passion is. One of my neighbors always said Tessa's garden is her passion. He didn't know I had other passions, but that was okay. I accepted it. And it's a strong passion. So we'll start also next week. So I hope everybody has a wonderful evening. And we have May. May is going to be fun. I'm sure it's going to be fun. I was born in May. You know, I was born in May. It's fun, and I'm a fun person. I'm the funniest of funs. So it's to celebrate my birthday. I have 100 million reasons to be grateful. So to celebrate my big birthday, my 40th birthday, my big 40-year-old birthday, I have decided I will do a full month of gratitude. So join me. And as I'm putting it out there, because what do you want for your birthday? I only want rose bushes. Don't buy me cups, don't buy me plates, don't buy me any flowers. Flowers or a rose bush. And I'll be happy with that. So don't send me anything that you know. I schedule some face-to-face time in person. With whom? With you? You never show up. You, Kathleen, you are a graduate of the Tessa-Marie financial program, and you're well on your way. What are you buying? House number 6? your financial research. Anyway, face to face for what? Put a comment and let me know. I'll answer if we have a face to face. Tell me, is it for gardening? Because now you have a greenhouse. With me for what purpose? For gardening? I know it's not financial. You're well on your way to success. People who only see you here. I know what you mean. You don't see me in person. Well, yeah. I think we can meet outside. So we can meet in here. We were in a bubble before. We should arrange a face-to-face. I would love it. Maybe we can do it for my birthday or before that. Just for gossip. Really? Really? We'll talk about flowers. I'm glad you came. You know, I'm sad that I cannot see you guys because of COVID. But, we'll do that. I think we can arrange that. The weather is not helping either. And I know we have wine, snacks, and whatever. Okay, maybe I'll do some fried rice and some chicken. Okay, guys. I like how you're having a whole conversation on there about what we can have. That is great. I hope everybody knows all we do is eat and drink and wine, snacks, and whatever. So we'll do that, and I'm looking forward to seeing you. So guys, have a wonderful evening. And thank you, Susie and Rosie and Yoko and Donato and Ali and Papa P. And somebody who else was there. Coaching, Susie was there. And who is that else? There's so many of you. Friday night, dance night. We're not dancing tonight. Ali was there. We danced already, Donato. We danced on Tina Turner night. Murdoch. I don't know who Murdoch is. The Murdoch one. Hi. Here you go. Yoko. Yes, it's called Yoko. Ryan. Thank you, Donato. Ryan, Susie, Rosie, Tiggy, Yoko, Ali, Kathleen, Patrick, and who else was here? Everybody came. So have a wonderful night, everybody. And we shall speak a little bit later. Oh, hi, Belinda, my dear. We have to chat. So that would be nice. So we'll have a lot of fun. Yes, Kathleen, we'll have to do some self-care show. Maybe we'll do a Sunday show with just have wine and snacks. Yoko likes wine, by the way. Take care, everybody. Good night.